What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is 420. Happy 420 to those of you that partake. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022, and this is the AMC Gme and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. I hope you had a great day in the market today, although it was a down red day across the board for the most part. The Xtreme Gainz family, like always, in the premium Discord, general Discord, YouTube live stream chat, and Twitch live stream chat, absolutely killed it today. Congratulations to everybody. You deserve it. Thank you, as always, for sharing and allowing me to be a part of it. My personal scalps landed crazy again today. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 triggers and successful net positive scalps today. I had one 160%, one 110%, one 100%, one 200%, and a whopping 325% again today. That's 2 days in a row with over 300%. Unbelievable. A lot of the gains were made before lunchtime today. We literally sat in the live stream and just were like, wow, man, this is crazy. I hope if you're not a part of my Discords and you're not able to join in the live streams, I hope that you're able to take advantage of some of the volatility in the market intraday today, especially the midline volatility and consolidation that we see specifically like with SPY today. SPY was a scalper's dream today. So I hope you're able to take advantage of some of this as well and make some gains. I just want to see everybody win. So with all of that said, I want to go over all the regulars here. That's my snake algo for AMC, GME, and SPY, and macro comparatives for all three as well. So with all of that said, let's dig in. On your screen is AMC and my snake algo and snake algo method. AMC finished today down 7.17%. It's 1734 and it's up 0.46% in after hours at 1742. I talked last night about a potential scenario of the snake not fulfilling and diverting here this morning and potentially rejecting off of the neckline break from this macro W and the diversion from the current snake or the previous snake now that was on there, because the last three snakes have diverted and interchanged on Wednesday. And that's exactly the scenario that played out today. It was one of the scenarios I talked about last night, and that's the one that played out today. We hit right off of the $19 neckline break. It rejected hard to the downside, and that was it. So with that, I clipped another snake. Those of you in the live stream, I told you I'd look into it, and I did. I went back to the previous one where we had a diversion in after hours or pre-market prior to getting the new snake, and I clipped this in the same manner. This is the day of diversion prior to the after hour pre-market diversion, and that's what I clipped because that's what I clipped in the previous one. So that is what this one here is doing on there now, and I'm going to show you why I feel half decent with it for the time being. It overlaps itself back into yesterday. It projected and fulfilled today's pre-market, today's market open, the flush down, all of the movements almost candle for candle all day today, and it's still fulfilling here in after hours. So I'm going to leave this here for now. As you know, the initial placement's crucial. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on here for now for the time being in this manner, see what it gives me first thing tomorrow and go from there. However, I want to show you this as well. Had I clipped the day prior to the day of diversion, this is what it looks like. It runs right with all of this. It runs right with all of this, and it projects and fulfills in the exact same way that this one does down here to a certain point. Obviously, this has a little more volatility here and then consolidation, but you can see they run together essentially and then they split off. One gets rejected at the $19 again, and one blows right through it. That I'm going to leave this on the table for now. I'm not going to leave it on here, but on my table, on my chart. And then if we reject at the 1950 or we see it divert, you know, slightly from this where it would resemble this one, then I'll know it's potentially the day prior and not the day of clip that needs to be used. However, if we go blowing through, it's going to be very easy to tell which one it is. But that's the snake that I'm looking at right now currently for AMC, potentially moving into tomorrow and beyond. The macro comparative for AMC is from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run-up, and it's the macro double-double used in two different placements. This is the one that we have been going over for quite some time, that has led and fulfilled for quite some time. It has had some inverted divergence here, mirrored inversions is what I like to call them. And I talked about this potentially doing this down here. This here is what, as well as the snake that I had clipped in that diversion up at the top up here at 34.50-ish something, that indicated this heavy downside. This macro comparative was indicating all of that and projected and fulfilled all of that as well. And leaving it in the position that it was in for that, I had talked to you about this potentially making an inverted move here up to this $19 area neckline, $18.50, $19 neckline, to invert this downside move and it potentially not fulfilling to this level to the downside. And it almost appears to be doing that exact thing here. As you can see, it literally looks like it has already started making this move and now potentially this move, and then hopefully it gets back in line with this for an upside move and then the macro continuation to upside. However, it does still have the capability of falling down and coming back down and fulfilling this bottom at any time. I'm going to keep that in mind, but I do think it is looking very, very eerily similar to this being an inverted mirroring, like I had potentially talked, like I talked about potentially happening. So that's that one. And the other one that I've been looking at is the same one, just in a different position, a more extended position. And it had a bullish short term that it has not fulfilled yet. I looked at this and have been looking at this. I thought that maybe it belonged in this position right here to where we would potentially get this move. I would like to think that that's not it, that it didn't just get suppressed underneath this technical resistance of this W neckline break, and that potentially it just needs shifted over a little bit and it has not fulfilled that portion of it yet, and maybe this is yet to come. We'll see what happens here with this one, but at first glance it almost does look like that to me. So I'll keep that in mind as I'm looking at it. Obviously, the first leg up of this from the level in which we're at right now would be about to the $20.75 area, followed by a $25 or $26 move to the upside. So those are the macro comparatives for AMC, excuse me. GME, the macro comparative is the green. It's still on point, projecting and fulfilling almost candle for candle. The snake, I had said in the live stream at the end of the day that I thought maybe it had not diverted from it yet, therefore no reason to search for the other one. However, at second evaluation, I do believe it diverted at the exact same time AMC diverted from its today. It's almost a mirrored inversion of that as well. However, what I did was I clipped, just like I clipped the new AMC one, and what I get from it, oh, where did I put it? Yeah, right here. Is this right here. My bad. The same as what I got for AMC. The overlap into yesterday, after hours, the projection fulfillment of pre-market, today's moves, essentially candle for candle. And then you see the projection, the potential projection from it moving into tomorrow and beyond. So that's what it looks like. Again, that's clipping the day of diversion. Being today, or yesterday, I'm sorry. Yesterday was technically the day of diversion because the diversion happened in after hours last night. I will look at another one tomorrow. If this does not fulfill in some sort of way that I can see initially, I'll look at potentially clipping the day prior to diversion, like I did with AMC, and taking a look at it. But I'm feeling rather good about this because it is following the macro comparative, and GME has been running with the macro comparative quite well for quite some time. Then, last but not least, SPY. The two macro comparatives for SPY are the same one from the 08-09 correction and crash in two different positions. The long-term version is the blue one. The extended version is the red one. The yellow is the snake that price action has been following for quite some time. Let me go to the 4-hour. Quite some time. Here is where we're at today. It followed the snake almost literal candle for candle and has been for quite some time, for the last couple of weeks. I believe we're in our third week now of this snake projecting and fulfilling. The indication from it is potentially consolidation here, and it looks to be potentially tomorrow morning a downside move, which is a little bit strange. It's completely diverted, a macro diversion from what maybe not initially tomorrow, but then the generalized perspective of this to continuation to downside. And it doesn't mean it has to. It could divert from this just as easily and go upside with AMC and Gme, but it's obviously the generalized perspective of these movements is obviously different than what the current snakes are, their potential current snakes are showing for AMC and GME. However, that's the snake for it, and this runs essentially with the extended version, a little bit staggered as far as this potentially diverting a little bit from it, and I'm okay with that, as you know from previous experience with this thing, or with these macro comparatives, in the long-standing way that I have used them here on the channel. It's not a candle for candle projection. It is just a suggested projected path, as in the whole thing is being fulfilled in the path that it is taking. The other one is the long-term version, and I talked about an inversion happening here, potentially to the upside, and it inverting this triangle, and that's essentially what's been happening here. So if this were to get continuation to upside and get back in line with this, I did clip the snake similarly to AMC and GME, and that's what the ascending channel is there for, to kind of give me some indication as to what this one shows. So if it were to follow that one to the upside, I think it would be aligning itself back with the long-term macro snake at that point if it were to do that. So instead of muddying up my chart, I just wanted you to see it real quick. I put a ascending level of support and resistance in here of this channel that I'm keeping an eye on, and there it is there. It did potentially breach it already a little bit here to the downside. That's not a big deal. Realistically, it needs to be moved a little bit to accommodate that because it has not technically broken yet. But that's the channel. If it stays in, I think it would be aligning itself with the long-term version macro comparative. So that's what I'm looking for from SPY with the macro comparatives and the current and going on 3-week micro to macro snake. That's everything I have for the video. If you made it to the end, thank you very much. Do y'all's thing. Would greatly appreciate it. Quick reminder, I will not be live here tomorrow. It is a scheduled Discord stream tomorrow. So I will not be streaming the market tomorrow. However, if something were to pop off to the upside and or go catastrophic to the downside, we would come out here and live stream like we've done in the past so we can all be together. But just let you know, I will not be live here tomorrow, but I will get an update and preparation video out again tomorrow night after market close. Appreciate y'all. Take care. Enjoy your evenings, and I will talk to y'all on the next one. Later.